Have you noticed? Yeah, I'm going to, but have you noticed Stanley Parable 2? When did this change? We are in Ultra Deluxe. There actually isn't a Stanley Parable 2. So when did that change? All right, let's play the game. We'll walk out here and see if you guys can hear the narrator. Anything going on in here? No. No narrator either?
Stanley, I'm sorry, but I
There we
have
go.
to put a pause on things. It's those figurines, those figglers. I haven't stopped thinking about them since you
Found?
nabbed every last one. Wasn't it just the most intrinsically fulfilling moment of your entire life? Didn't it fill you to the brim with inner richness? Yes, I know we're supposed to be telling a story, but won't you please indulge me with one more trip back to the memory zone? I would love nothing more than to
No sound.
revisit the figurines. Just one more time.
That's... Capture audio. What if we do this? Okay, I've changed something. I've changed it to display capture, so I can hear the footsteps. Can you? I don't seem to have a... Now we're good? That is not the way I want to stream. It's not the way I've been streaming for the last 9 months, 6 months. Alright, we are going to go down here. And we're going to go through here.
Here's
And
where
unfortunately,
it all
we
began.
have to go through this
The first collectible.
one
Back
more
then, we
time.
had no idea of how many of them we'd find. Sure, it said 6 right there on the screen, but how could we know for certain? We were so innocent. We'll never be like that again, Stanley.
Okay. And then we have to go back out. Take a trip down memory lane.
And here was a second Stanlerine. I'll be honest, back then I had no faith in you to find any of them, let alone 6. But you continue to surprise me in all sorts of mundane, unremarkable ways.
How is the sound? Is it good? Too loud? Too soft? I don't know if I can do anything about too soft, but...
Okay, let's do a
Fine.
little quiz.
Good.
Which of
I
these
have
rooms
no idea
was
what's
the
going
room you
on.
found your third mini stand? Can you remember? Hey, that's exactly right. It was here in the boss's bathroom. It was the third one. You picked it up,
I think
and
this
then
is the
after
fourth
that,
time we're
you
doing
had
this.
3 of them. I'm glad these moments are so crystal clear in your memory, but I shouldn't be surprised. After all, science tells us that it's impossible to forget your third time doing anything.
Really? I think those pictures
Let's
were
see,
different.
what came next? Oh yes, we found a figly in this pink room. Oh well, I can't actually say I remember being in this room, but it's here in the memory zone, so it must have happened.
Must have happened. His memory is as faulty as mine. Or more so. He's making stuff up.
This was the 5th mini stand, and this one was really something special. It was behind the boss's office. I remember it so clearly. In fact, because this one is particularly special to me, I made a little
Oh, that's
video
right.
to commemorate the occasion. Enjoy.
What's that? Oh, there. Music in the in the tone of late 80s rock? Maybe? You found it behind the boss's office. Thanks for watching. Everything by the narrator, starring Stanley.
Takes you back, doesn't it? I spent a lot of time making that video, but it was 8 minutes I wouldn't have spent on anything else.
This is the loop that we were stuck in last week.
And then, Stanley, then we came to the last collectible, the final figurine, right here by the red and blue doors.
Oh, he said
this memory is the
figurine this
most
time, not
distinctly
figurine.
clear in my mind, perhaps because it was the one that happened more recently than all the others. Who can truly say how the mind works? All I know is that this is the moment where you picked up a figly and I thought to myself, yes, that's all of them. They're all collected. It was a moment unlike any other.
Twice.
Except for the other moments picking up figurines, which it was exactly like.
2 more times. Trying to figure out what was going on.
And then there was no more.
No more.
Because we've caught up to the present moment. Nothing left to do but move onward into the future. Goodbye, Memory Zone.
You are in the present. I don't remember it reloading, though. Okay.
No, I'm not done.
I guess I do now.
I'm not ready to move on. Stop the loading screen. Isn't there some way we can stay here, keep enjoying these figurines? Let's just go backwards. We'll do the Memory Zone again from the opposite direction. See how that feels.
It feels like deja vu. Multiple deja vus.
Okay, yes, the room with the red and blue doors.
Sorry, guy.
I remember this. I must say, of all the figurines we looked at in our initial tour of the Memory Zone, this one is the most distinct and clear in my mind. Let's keep going, I want more. And here's where I made that video. Don't you remember the video we watched?
I can't move forward until we do this. At least it's sped up, right?
Yes, I love that video.
Mute. Unmute. I don't want to be coughing right in your face. It's weird having the microphone right up against me like this.
Still don't remember the pink room, Stanley. Still no memory of this one.
Yes, we weren't
Good
there.
Room, though. A solid room.
Solid room.
These really were a treat to hunt down. You know, if there had been any kind of reward for finding all of these, it really would have muted the intrinsic joy of collecting them. I'm very glad
maybe our
we resisted
reward
the temptation.
is not
Next one.
a positive one, because we've had to redo this so many times. Actions have consequences. Good and bad actions have consequences.
This was our second figly. Don't you remember? Yes, I remember it too. The past is truly a wonderful thing. Why does anyone ever choose to leave it?
And this is where we got stuck.
This is it. The very first one we found in the exhibit where I introduced you to the figurines. Oh, I want more memories, Stanley. I want to keep going. What else is there? What came before this?
And I was... What? I turned around and I went back, but what I didn't do, checking on the video from last week, I saw that and I couldn't remember having seen it during the event, but it was just there on the corner of my eye. Collect them all. Can you find them? Exhibition room. Collectible. Oh! Look at the giant Stanley. At least we're out of the loop. I wasn't sure coming in that we were going to be able to get out of this, so I'm happy that I was actually correct. Oh, the jumping circle.
Look, it's the terrible new content that we were originally sold on. I remember hating it back then, but time does put a rosy filter on everything. In fact, I dare say I'm actually quite fond of it now.
I think I better wait
Look how
until
much
he's
fun
done.
the past is. I want more memories.
I want my bucket. That's what I want.
Oh,
That's
yes,
a terrible thing to say.
Door.
You should
You
check
could
out
have forgotten that. A
the short
classic
I made.
memory, this one.
With little clips. I was rewatching this and I thought it was hilarious.
And before everything else, there was your office.
There is my office.
Is there anything else? Was there something that came before your office?
Should
There's
not
something
have
I
been.
feel I can remember. I can remember.
Loading.
Yes, I'm remembering
yes.
something now. I remember before this whole story got started. Back then I was different. I used to make big decisions. I was passionate. I was skeptical. I weighed each decision with profound thoughtfulness. And then somewhere along the way, I stopped making decisions. I became lazy, and I came up with a character named Stanley to do my thinking for me.
Oh.
He would make the decisions. He would decide which way to go. I would cheer him on as he collected figurines for no reason. Why did I invent Stanley? Was I lonely?
Maybe.
Yes, perhaps that's it.
Does that mean
perhaps
the
I needed
narrator's
to
talking to
imagine I had
himself?
companionship. And Stanley really did make for a wonderful companion, even if he was a fiction. But I suppose it's grown old. I want to think for myself again.
You
I
gonna
want to
leave
go
us
back to
behind?
how it used to be. Yes, I can be on my own again. I can do it. I'll be stronger this time.
It doesn't sound
I'll
like the
take
end of
care
the
of
game.
myself. I don't need Stanley anymore. Oh, but he truly was so much fun to play with. You know what? Since we're in the memory zone, how about one more good memory? Let's go back just once and give Stanley one more run of the office, and then I'll retire him for good. I did enjoy telling his story so very much. Okay, here we go. This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Oh, you know what? We didn't have the intro with the,
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
I'm going to wait because I don't know if this changes.
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427.
Person at the beginning with the
Employee
clock.
number
We didn't have that
427's
anymore.
job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed
He
buttons.
said we
on the
needed to find him.
keyboard.
I don't know where to look
Orders
for him.
came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley
was happy.
And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single
I'm wondering
order
why he
had
didn't
arrived
notice
on the
that there
monitor
was nobody
for him
in
to
the office
follow.
when he got to
No
his-
one had
when he
showed
walked
up to
through
give him
into his
instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Where's my mouse? There we go.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
We still have some of the
Stanley
stuff from
decided
the
to go to the
original
meeting room.
endings.
Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
My bucket is back! Do I dare pick it up? I was so despondent. My bucket is back. We have to show it all the endings,
Now
right?
this, Stanley thought to himself, this is a bucket. And indeed it was.
That's all you're going to say about the bucket?
Stanley clung the bucket to his cheek. Could his co-workers really all be gone?
way to walk up on this desk. I'm not going to be able to get to the window to show it that ending. Huh. And I can't jump because you can only jump in the circle. Well, phooey. Okay, well, maybe we'll be able to do it later. Who knows?
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his
I did
left.
wiggle on the chair. I have no idea which endings we have not shown the bucket. So my remembering needs to tell me. Panda, any clue? I don't think we've jumped off of the...
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the
You're
place
pretty
to
sure it's
be.
just the window? I don't
And
think
here
we
it
took
was.
the bucket
Had the bucket turned out to be
to
correct?
the
No, never
red
mind.
and blue windows.
The bucket was
red and
wrong.
blue doors.
Stanley took the door on his left
We did
to
that.
go back to the meeting room.
We did the elevator. That's right, it's a no bucket zone. Did we step on and off with the
No,
bucket?
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes.
On
Go
and
there.
step
Oh, well, look who's got cold feet.
There
Well,
we go.
from here, it looks like the only way forward is down, since the lift won't be coming back. But that's okay.
this.
You've got a bucket. Did you know that buckets are routinely used as cushioning devices? It's true. You can fall on a bucket from literally any height and survive.
Yeah, we know that's not true. Because we didn't get the other Stanley from the pink room, whatever it is. We got it from the end of that walkway. The tapes. Oh.
Okay, this is day number 295, tape number... I don't even know. I've lost track. Nothing feels real anymore. The longer I study this bucket, the less
The
sense
bucket. It's actually talking about the bucket. That's funny.
makes. The sheer euphoria I feel every time I pick it up. No matter how many times I've done it, it's always the same feeling. And the emptiness in my chest when I set it down. It doesn't make sense. There's no explanation for it. I still haven't figured out why I see the world so differently when this bucket is in my arms.
Yeah.
Why everything feels so... What do I do with this treasure? I can
No.
monetize it.
No.
Yes. It's unthinkable
monetize
the
them.
amounts of money people will
Yeah.
pay for even just an hour with the bucket. This is my golden ticket. But I have to be careful, because as soon as this gets out, there's going to be
I
a
actually
target
do
on
remember
my
this.
back.
I think.
Even now, I don't know who might be trying to get... What's that? Who's there?
Nobody.
Camporata.
What does that mean? I do kind of remember, though. the conversation about having a target on their back. So, just the window, huh? But I don't have the bucket.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Co-workers are gone.
Stanley decided to go to the
and we'll
meeting
try the
room.
window again.
Perhaps
Finally, yes, the bucket.
I love that bucket.
I love that bucket.
Stanley clung the bucket to his cheek.
Wiggle, wiggle,
Could his
wiggle.
co-workers really all be
No.
gone?
Nope. Wiggle, wiggle. I just can't. And it won't let me jump. Oh, wait. I did get up. Okay. Let's go out the window. Yay!
Yes,
Whispered the bucket into Stanley's ear.
we've done it. We've escaped from that dull office and that pesky narrator. At last, out here in the white void, we are alone. Now, and for the first time, I can reveal to you my true self.
What?
The bucket began to tell Stanley of its life and its history, of the countless wars it witnessed, desecrating the land and lives of untold numbers of innocent humans, and the bucket's own complicity therein, of sadness and regret, and the many years it spent dwelling on the actions it might have taken to curb the madness and the decay, if only it had been stronger, of hope and redemption, and its crusade to uplift the stock of life for the common man, to manifest justice where none existed, and the bittersweet reality of time, to see one's dreams
Just
and
can't get
wishes
there.
met halfway, meted out in parcels like charity, and abandoned as soon as the warm glow of inspiration begins to dim. The opportunities to do so much more. There was so much it could have done, perhaps,
It's a bucket.
the bucket wondered to itself. Perhaps, if it had seen its own darkness with a clearer perception. This was way too much for Stanley.
What are you talking about?
He screamed.
You're a bucket.
To this, the bucket furrowed its brow.
No,
Said the bucket.
not since the evil wizard Gambhorata first ensnared me in his machinations as payback for the sacred amulet I stole from his treasured vaults. I was young back then
Gambhorata.
and could not conceive the ramifications of... No!
Stanley screamed even louder this time.
This is stupid! You are a bucket! This is so stupid! Why are we even doing this?
Because the narrator
As
said
Stanley
to.
screamed and screamed and screamed, the bucket revealed its true form, transforming into a mighty beast of untold power, its fangs glistening like...
When did I get a sword?
My God, Stanley, you did it!
A
You
knife.
saved us from the bucket. Thank God you already had all 12 emblems of sages and knew the incantations to summon their true power.
fig leaves, I needed all 12
we would
of the
have
fig
easily
leaves.
been overwhelmed by the bucket's power. I'm speechless. You've demonstrated such bravery here today. Come, let's restart the game, and we'll agree to never again go trifling with this bucket, nor the dark magic cast away inside of it.
The bucket was evil. I don't care. I still miss my bucket.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the
Yeah, I
meeting room.
didn't figure
Perhaps
it
he had
was
simply
done.
missed a memo.
But if I pick it up, what do I do with it? We went through there. That's the last ending. Hop back into the new content door. Okay, if that's the last ending, then I need to start thinking about what we're going to do with the rest of the time.
When Stanley came to a set of
this
two
way.
open doors, he entered the door on
Been
his
down
left.
these hallways so many times. Wait, wasn't that the new content door? Or is it on the other side of the...
Yet there was
Meeting
not a
room.
single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Oh, I was supposed to take the bucket. Alright, so we'll... begin the game again.
All of his co-workers
Actually,
were gone.
it's the new
What could it mean?
content door.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps one man, one bucket, one chance to seize their destiny together.
Alright. But it is on the left.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest
Correct?
and entered the door on his left.
Because now I'm very confused. I didn't see it in the hallway. Did I just not see it because... What am I doing? I thought the content door was on that side, by the broom closet, but that door was closed. Maybe get an ending because the door isn't open. What ending are we missing? We've done the elevator. We've done the elevator, or the boss's office. We've done the elevator up and down. I think we did the step out of the... Just get some endings done. Any endings? All right, which is the simplest? The phone.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind.
No, never
mind.
mind.
The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No.
No, said the bucket. Don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Good, said the bucket. Now ride the lift all the way to the top.
We're going to have
There's
to
something
listen
up there
to
I need you to do.
The go home
Stanley
thing.
did not question why or how this
Weird
bucket was speaking
moment
to him.
with the bucket.
It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
I could die, jump onto the floor. That's an ending. Did we do that with the bucket? I don't remember. Well.
But Stanley feared that any path he walked might lead to the separation of himself and the bucket, his dearest friend. So he threw himself to his death, that they might die in one another's arms. How deeply touching.
Okay.
How long was I sitting there? Stanley wondered to himself. Minutes? Days? Centuries? Did something crucial happen while my senses were turned? He made a note to be more careful with time from now on. It's bucket time.
It's bucket time. Was the words the infinite hole? Was that an actual ending? Because I don't think we had the bucket with us.
And entered the door on his left.
Yeah, I wish there were a way.
Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office.
The door's not even there now.
Answers. Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
We went downstairs and went round and round and round and ended up dead on the street. So we did that. There's nothing as an ending in there. There's nothing as an ending in there. We stepped in and out, and that opened the door next to our office. I don't remember the ending for that one. If we go through here, we have the secret of the offices with all the cameras. We jumped off and we spent time decorating. So that's one. We turned it off and can't leave the building. And we watched a bunch of birds. That's those three endings. We went up and down on the elevator, and that was the museum kind of ending. I don't remember what the go across and come back. I don't remember what that ending is. But going into the boss's office is not an ending, and we can't go backward. So, oh, it didn't close.
Stepping in.
Okay, and the narrator's stuck in there, so we have to go back. Let's go find out what that ending in that. I can see why you either need to keep a running tab or do it all at once. It would have been a long sit through, though. That one's shut. Back through the office. And I've determined you actually can't put the bucket down. Ever. Google says I need 3 to 6 endings to get the new content door to appear. Oh, yes, what was this one? Is this the one? We give up the bucket here. That's not going to be good. Right? Did it lock behind me? Can I walk back out? Even if I walk back out. We're not doing that. Not because I don't want to lose the bucket, because I can't end it if I
All of his co-workers were gone.
don't have
What
the
could
bucket.
it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps
It's bucket time.
It's bucket time. So, let's do the phone, because that one's easy. Even if we have to listen to the whole
clutched
thing.
the bucket tightly to his... This was
I
not
think we're
the
done
correct
on the
way to
left.
meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go
We
back
did that
to the
one.
meeting room.
That one eventually goes to the munchers, right? Yeah. No. No, I forget what that one goes to now.
No,
My brain
Said
is
the bucket.
all mixed up.
don't go to the meeting room.
Don't go
Go
to
somewhere
the
else. The cargo lift, yes.
And we went
Good.
that way?
Said the bucket.
Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course,
Next start,
because
click
buckets
on the
can't talk.
435
But Stanley
times
chose
without the
not to
bucket.
think about this
430.
obvious fact.
Okay.
He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
That's strange. Click on the door 5 times. I haven't clicked on any doors recently
In here.
because
Go into this dark room over here.
Stanley once again obeyed blindly.
I can't go back, so I don't have a choice. Dark room.
Now pick up the phone.
Said the bucket.
Pick up the
Whoa, hold on. Why
Unplug the
did you
phone.
unplug the phone? Were you trying to resist the bucket's orders? Stanley, I was joking. Obviously, the
Yep.
bucket isn't talking to you and telling you to do things. Buckets can't talk.
It was a joke. Don't you get the joke? It's funny, Stanley. A talking bucket.
Can't you see? Oh, goodness. I must have really bungled up the delivery if you actually took me seriously.
Oh.
Where did I mess up the joke?
Yeah.
Should I have paused for longer or spoken quicker? Comedic timing
This
is
is
so
a
difficult.
little long one,
I wish
too.
I were better at it. But there
least
isn't
we don't have to
exactly
do
an
weird
instructional video on comedy that one can watch
romance
to
things with the
Oh, wait,
bucket.
yes, there is. It's sitting right here. Let's take a look.
What is comedic timing? What is comedic timing? How does it work? How long should it last? How can it be used to effectively silence your political enemies? And more importantly, can it be taught in its entirety within 90 seconds? Thankfully, the answer to all of these questions is yes. Let's
90
dive
seconds.
deeper. If you've ever told a joke or made someone laugh, in all likelihood, you did it while standing 50 to 80 centimeters from them in a room of no more than 76 degrees Fahrenheit, with one of your arms raised straight upward at a 15-degree angle from your body.
Hey, metric people,
These
how much
are
is
the
76
optimal
degrees
conditions
Fahrenheit?
for good comedic timing. To begin the joke, start by stating and spelling your name. Next, provide a brief synopsis of the joke, including the specific times at which the recipient of the joke will laugh.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And then,
Left
spell
hand.
out your name a second time. With these steps complete, it's time to begin the humor. Speak the entire joke in no more than 18 seconds and no less than 13 and a half, pausing only for bathroom breaks when necessary. When the joke has
That's
concluded,
a lot of
it is customary to
stuff to
inform
go
your
in
listener
18
that the
seconds.
joke is over by declaring in your loudest possible voice, "I'm Dunny with the funny." Let's practice screaming, "I'm Dunny with the funny" now.
Yeah, I'm still not doing it.
Good. This saying is a perfect example of expectations management, which is the cornerstone of good comedy. Finally, it's time to hand out surveys. Collecting hard data from your audience on how rapt they were throughout the joke is the only way to grow or learn as a comedian.
The only reason they're
An
laughing
effective
is because
survey
of
should be
silly
no less
stance
than
that
10
you're in.
pages long and should include the same question reprinted several times, just to ensure the survey taker is actually paying attention and not simply filling in
no
answers at
surveys.
random. And that's all there is. With these strategies at your disposal, you'll have audiences doubled over in laughter and even tripled over in laughter in no time at all. Just remember to let them stop laughing at some point, you gut-busting little scamp.
Little
After
scamp.
all, we're each of us needed on the front lines of the war to fight the 12-legged invader who threatened our very existence, and to very likely die in a hailstorm of bullets and mandibles. All of us must be prepared to give our lives to this noble cause, just as our children must do after us, and their children after them. Godspeed, and may Earth reign supreme.
You gonna do it for me?
Oh, goodness,
you're at
this
work and
video is
saying
a little
that, people are
outdated,
like,
isn't it?
what are
Well,
you
no
talking
matter.
about?
I think the fundamentals of proper comedic timing are still as relevant today as they were back then. So with that in mind, I believe the only way forward is for us to return to the two doors and walk through all of this again, so I can try telling my story with more appropriate comedic delivery. Come along, let's head back.
And I have to do it in order to get the ending. I wish there was a way to run. Don't try
I
getting
can
out.
feel it. This time, I'm really going to nail the delivery. You'll be in stitches. A talking bucket, you'll say? How ridiculous. How absurd. What a hilarious concept. The king of comedy. That's what you'll call me. Thank goodness we had the instructional video. Otherwise, who knows where we'd be right now. Well, I wouldn't be the king of comedy, that's for sure.
Well, you're not the king of comedy now.
spoke to Stanley.
The bucket spoke.
The bucket spoke. Oh, I'll figure it out on the fly. No need to overthink things.
Didn't we have this conversation earlier about whether Stanley would run in the office? It seems to me Stanley would be one of those who runs with scissors. Okay, back to
Here
the
we
two
go.
doors.
You ready? When Stanley and the bucket came to a set of two open doors, they entered the door on the left.
But now I'm expected to go through the one on the right. How did I do this where I managed to make it so that there was only one door? That was the red and blue doors, wasn't it? Yeah, I think so. All right. Oh,
What? We're back at the phone already? No, what's going on? There was supposed to be several rooms leading up to this.
So that
There was
you could work
supposed to be a build-up to this point, a dramatic display of remarkable comedic wit which culminates in this scene with the phone. But now the timing's completely off.
Nope.
The joke will never land. Well, not the way it was meant to. And it's all my fault. I must have forgotten that the phone room comes immediately after the two doors room. What an egregious mistake. I've made a fool of myself.
The
I don't
narrator has
deserve the
quite
title
the
of King of
vocabulary.
Comedy. I'm nothing. I'm not even the lowliest joke-telling whelp. I think I need to go back and rewatch that.
No.
Video. Yes, surely that will help me improve my...
Thank you.
Here we go. You ready? When Stanley and the bucket came to a set of two open doors, they entered the door on the left.
Yes, we will enter the door on the left.
No. They were supposed to go through the door on the right, leading back to the phone. Did you not even look at the instructional video? I think this is all covered very clearly. There's no way I can make the comedic timing work now. It's done. The joke is completely done and over. It's all your fault, Stanley.
Okay.
I'm going to be ridiculed in the community of other joke writers. I'm going to be shamed at every one of our meetings from now on. All because you couldn't watch a simple video and take a hint. Are you proud of yourself for bringing me down, Stanley? Are you proud?
Stanley, you
Here we
love
go
the
again.
bucket so much it's like you... it's as though all of your other most prized possessions pale in comparison. Yes. Well, let me try that again, Stanley. I heard that you are pale with shame over how unabashedly in love with a bucket you are. No?
Nope.
Still not? Is it the delivery? Pale with shame. Pale with shame? Pale... What's another word to describe a bucket? Stanley, this bucket is so metal, I think I saw it playing guitar.
No.
No. We're getting away from making fun.
Trying really hard, though.
It was the bucket, which was the whole point of this. I'm no good at these jokes.
There you go.
I need more instructional videos.
No.
That's exactly what it is. That's what will make me the king of comedy again. More
You were never the king of
instructional
comedy.
videos. Let's see.
Okay. I go out here and I knock on 435
All
times,
his
but I gotta get the
co-workers were-
bucket first.
Wait, no. This isn't the right office, is it? Is this Stanley's office?
Huh?
It's bucket time.
That's new. Is this Stanley's office? That's new.
Oh, please. Are you really just doing this for the achievement? Click a door 5 times. Is that all that you think an achievement is worth? No,
Yes.
no. I can't just give these merits away for such little effort. A measly 5 clicks. Now suppose you were to click the door 20 times.
20
I would
times.
say that's the kind of effort that warrants recognition. I have to say, I'm still not feeling the satisfaction of witnessing true effort.
Oh
from
my
local
goodness.
cause. Perhaps 50 clicks will do it. Yes, almost certainly 50 clicks.
Like 4 hours of keeping the baby from burning up. That one's never gonna happen.
No, I'm still not feeling it. You see, now that you've gotten the bucket involved, my standards have gone up. Merely clicking a single door is no longer enough.
Oh no.
Now, I want to see you press this bucket against multiple doors. Now that's the kind of thing that merits an achievement. Why don't you put 20 bucket touches into door 417?
Click.
Okay, great. Now,
Coward.
we'll touch the bucket on door 437 a few times.
37 should be back here. Right? Where's 437? There. What is that? That's an odd place for 437 to be.
Yes. Now
What am I
we're
a coward
getting
about?
somewhere. How about door 415? Give it some bucket love.
All the numbers are severely messed up.
Now back to door number 437.
Oh, the baby ending, yes. You're right. I'm a coward. I'm not spending 4 hours keeping that baby alive. Back and forth and back and forth.
You know, I think the copy machine needs some attention. Why don't you rub the bucket on it a bit? All right, back to room 417. I'm really feeling it now. I think we're getting somewhere.
We are. I'm glad he thinks so.
Okay, now bring the bucket on top of employee 419's desk.
On top of the desk? Or am I just supposed to click on the desk? I can't get on.
Yes,
There
this
we
is
go.
great.
Okay.
Now the bucket knows exactly what it's like to be employee 419. Now, let's introduce it to door 416.
If I can get off the... Which direction is 16? This
We almost got it.
is
Now
the new
let the
content,
bucket and
right?
the copy machine touch again. Finish it off, Stanley. 5 touches of the bucket on door 430. Yes! We did it! Wow! That felt amazing.
The achievement is
Not all
click on door
buckets will get
430
this kind of
5
experience.
times.
They
I
will
think
all
that's a
know
little...
what it's like to slam repeatedly against nearly every door in one section of an office building. Or what it's like to be employee 419.
How would the
Buckets
bucket
may
know?
dream of an experience like this, but few can say they've truly lived it. You've given a bucket hope today. Stanley,
Spent
I'm very
30 years
proud of
keeping
you.
babies alive. What's another 4 hours? I can honestly say I never had to worry about keeping any of the 4 of you alive from a fire. Not that you didn't burn your fingers, but I never had to physically keep you from dying in a fire. Okay. Is the door going to be there now?
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Any ending? The fastest
This
one
was
is to
not
jump
the
off
correct way
the...
to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him
Jump off
that
the
employee
cargo
lounge
elevator.
was simply the place to be.
Cargo
And here
lift.
it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong.
All cribs are
Stanley took
purpose
the
made
door on his
for
left
stopping
to go
babies from
back to
getting
the
into
meeting
fires.
room.
Into fires, yes.
No.
Said the bucket.
So you're
Don't
saying
go
it was
to
a
the
good thing I
meeting
put you in a
room. Go
crib?
somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there.
But Stanley feared that any path he walked might lead to the separation of himself and the bucket, his dearest friend. So he threw himself to his death, that they might die in one another's arms. How deeply touching.
I'm thinking for most of you guys' childhood, the crib was there to keep you from falling down the stairs.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
All right.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Am I picking up the bucket? I may need different endings. Hey, Saul. Welcome home. I always broke out, but I was a nice child, really. Sure. I could tell you stories about the hours that Panda kept us awake, getting out of her, not her crib. Well, she got out of her crib, and that's why we finally put her in a toddler bed and then put a baby gate across the door so she wouldn't fall down the stairs. But she climbed over the baby gate and came to bother us. Not got in bed with us and went back to sleep. No. Running back and forth on the hallway. And you know I'm doing this because, well, you laugh at me every single week.
It's bucket time.
Any endings, huh? Different endings than that. So, let's go to
Stanley
the boss's
clutched the bucket tightly to his
office.
chest and entered the door on his left.
still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever.
Right
Perhaps
there.
his boss's office was where he'd come into a staircase. Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
And we'll go through this one.
Stepping into his manager's
2845?
office, Stanley was once again
2485?
stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed
It's
by the
28,
weight of this
isn't it?
revelation, Stanley may have
Yeah,
broken down into an
284.
emotional dumpster
What the
fire,
heck?
if not for the soothing presence of the bucket.
I was going too
Even
fast.
now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of... But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him?
We had no baby gate. We got something
This is
more like
certainly the
a
most
leash.
logical explanation.
Lit? Trying to think of which are the...
The elevator raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine.
Everything will be fine. I was trying to go for the shortest
Stanley and the
endings.
bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
Oh, see, I never did the leash thing with my kids.
Lights rose on an enormous room packed with
Actually,
television screens.
I'm pretty proud
what
of them
horrible
that they
secret
learned
did this
that they
place
needed to
hold?
stay within
Stanley
sight.
and the bucket both wondered to themselves.
Of course, the few times they didn't. It was a different
Monitor
time back
jumped to
then.
life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything
Not
would be
gonna
fine.
hog tie a baby. You're just cruel.
Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence
Hobbled
as well?
them, maybe.
Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place?
A life-saving
These
natter?
questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind. No! He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! He squeezed the bucket
Life-saving
tighter.
natter.
His one friend
Okay.
in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one except
I was
the
trying to
bucket.
figure out how constant talk would save his life.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy, or sad, or content.
I have to say, I'm getting kind of tired of walking
eating,
around this
working,
office.
all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in,
Maybe Bola.
Stanley decided that this machinery... Stanley and the bucket waited in blackness. Was it over? Yes, they had done it. Stanley and the bucket had defeated their greatest and darkest enemy, freed themselves from the tyrannical grip of the evil mind control machine. Freedom was now mere moments away. Excitedly, the two of them began to discuss the kind of life they wanted to live once
Bless
they
you.
stepped through this massive door.
Baby
The bucket
bat
wanted to
launcher.
learn to roller skate. Stanley wanted to sneeze in every country on Earth. Both of them wanted to begin watching a
That was an
movie, any
interesting
movie, but then
statement right
stop it
after
halfway
Melody
through and
sneezed.
begin watching it in reverse from the end. True, it was a simple life they envisioned, but it was one they'd lived together, with one another to lean on, to trust, to support, and to... What? Wait. What was happening? Why had the door stopped? Was Stanley and the bucket not about to be freed? An unbearable silence.
This game,
filled the
not
room,
gonna lie, is the
lingering
game
in
I never ever
uncertainty.
play.
Until finally the truth hit Stanley square
The
in
end
the
is
face.
never the end, is
This
never the
building
end, is
did
never the
not
end,
want
is
the
never-
bucket to leave. Even the facility
There has
itself
to be an
recognized the incredible
because
calming
otherwise you
presence
would
of
just
the
go,
bucket,
I'm done.
needed the soothing warmth of the bucket, would go to any lengths not to part with the bucket. No.
Were you here when
Stanley
I finally got
can't
out of the
leave
figurine loop?
this place. Not while he has such a precious bucket in his arms. Not while this building has anything to say about it. Stanley realized he would never again leave this very room. But at least he has the bucket. To be trapped eternally in darkness isn't really so bad, Stanley thought to himself. As long as I have my bucket with me, right? I'll be okay, won't I? Stanley gulped. Very soon now, he was about to find out.
That's what's weird over here. All right.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Well, if you were... the first 25 minutes was probably just me figuring out tech issues. Again.
Bucket time.
Again. And again. Yes, this is... that hallway is
Stanley
different.
clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
I can't do negative today. Positive vibes, positive vibes.
Please tell me you heard that. Okay, so you did hear them.
Still
Yesterday
no one
they
was
weren't
here.
being heard, and
Stanley
it just
needed the
was
bucket's
breaking my
warmth
heart.
and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers. Coming to
All
a
right, we'll
staircase,
do one more boss's
Stanley and the
office
bucket
ending,
walked upstairs to
and
the
if
boss's
the
office.
new content doesn't open,
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes,
I kinda
this
liked
is
the
certainly the
birds.
most
That was-
logical
that was kinda cute.
explanation. Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
we did jump with the bucket. We didn't jump with the bucket after I lost the bucket. Should we try that one again?
But just as Stanley was about
hate
to
that.
proceed further into the mind control facility, he tripped and fell over the railing
I
and into the
tripped.
dark void below.
We're gonna go with that.
Thankfully, he fell directly onto the bucket, which safely cushioned his fall. Now, what to do next? Stanley wondered. Stanley and the bucket could find no way out of this enormous pit, and so eventually
Yes,
they decided
Panda is
that
my
the
daughter.
best thing
Panda
to
is
do
the reason
would
that we're
be to
doing all
simply
of
get
this.
comfortable down here.
One, because
So
she's
they
my
set up a
oldest.
little couch and relaxed.
One,
It
because
really
a couple
wasn't
of
so
years
bad
ago
down
we
here.
started
A bit
playing
cold,
together
perhaps.
online. She lives about 1,000
After
miles
some
from us.
time had gone by, they installed a few shelves
And we had
as
some
well,
tech issues
and a sort of
even back
kitchenette
then.
that was
I didn't think
useful
about that.
for when the bucket was
And in the
craving
meantime,
for
she was like,
meals.
"Hey, Mom, play this one. Hey, Mom,
But
play
it wasn't
this."
until
And
the
that's
rugs
where it
and
all
standing
started.
lamps came in that it really started to feel like a home. In fact, after
She
some
gave
time,
me this
Stanley
game.
realized that it had been ages since he
She
had
gave
even
me-
thought of the mind control
Thank
facility
goodness
at
you're
all.
here.
He'd never gotten to fully explore what was
That
out
one
there.
you'll have to
never been able
go
to
look up
unearth the
the,
many mysteries
um,
of the mind control facility. This lack of closure began to eat at him. Soon he was dwelling on his regrets.
I don't know,
and the state
Saul.
of their home slowly decayed as Stanley became
Thinking
withdrawn
Panda, I may
and
have to put
neglected
you
to
on the
clean.
keep an eye on you list.
It unsettled the bucket deeply. Stanley wasn't usually like this. The bucket tried to reach out to him again and again, but to no avail.
10 minutes
All
before
Stanley could think
ads.
about, all he could talk about, was going back, doing it over again, staying on the
I think when
path.
we're done with this
It was a
ending,
mistake to leave the path.
I'll go ahead and
It was
fire
a
ads. We'll
mistake.
take
It
a
was
break. Everybody
mistake.
get up,
I need to do what the narrator
stretch,
says.
get
I
something
need
to drink,
see
go
the
out, get a
true
breath of fresh
ending.
air. If it's
This made no sense
not
at
too
all
cold
to the
for you
bucket.
out there,
It was
it's really
simply trying
nice
to
out
get its
for
life
us.
down here as comfortably as possible. Yet Stanley,
Of course, it was 82 here yesterday.
this isn't an ending. This is just a hole in the ground. The bucket sighed. True, it wasn't an ending. But it's where we happen to be. And maybe, possibly, if we accept the reality of things, maybe this will become an ending
real quick,
eventually.
I had been
what
archiving
the
all of my
bucket was
stuff on
counting
my
on.
YouTube channel, which is also Hey Mom
The
Play
two of them
This.
waited for a
I started
very
that
long
channel
time.
to do game demos. It has gotten really, really cluttered with streaming archives. So now I have a streaming channel, which is still Hey Mom Play This TTV. So if you're going to look for streams that I've done, that's where you're going to have to go. All right. There's an...
I can't wait to tell this story to my co-workers, Stanley thought. How amusing they'll find it. Oh, won't we all just laugh and laugh at the time I thought everyone had gone missing.
That
It's
sounds
bucket
promising.
time.
All right. Let's check and see if the door is there.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest
through this
and
side.
entered the door on his left.
Supposed to be right here, isn't it? Okay. The door's right after the bucket. But it wasn't there, or it wasn't open, and it didn't have a sign.
Stanley knew the office layout like the back of his hand. It was only a matter of time before he found the others, wherever they were. It's bucket
that
time.
wall. It's this one. Okay, well, let's go ahead and go to break. Maybe someone can figure it out. It's not going to be me because I'm going to get up and stretch and take care of things. So let's go to, I'm actually just going to put it on BRB because I don't know at what point I will actually be back. So y'all take this opportunity to take care of yourself for a minute, all right? And I will see you back in 3-4 minutes. The epilogue. Yeah, that worked. Welcome back from ads and from break, and hope you took care of whatever it is you needed to take care of. Thank you for sticking around through the breaks, because you know, ads help support your streamers. Click that shit. All right. I wonder what would have happened, though, if I had gone through the new content door. Many, many years later. Wait, we did this. This was after the pause button. Or we did something similar to this. But there was a building at the time. Just walk in any direction, maybe? Here's my office chair. Oh, wood. Can't sit on the chair. I can't pick up the wood. I can't enjoy myself by the fire. Look around on the ground as I travel. There are chairs everywhere. I'm looking for the bucket, aren't I? It's really loud in my headset. boss's office, I think. Over there? Or is it just a door? Maybe it's just a door. Not even a door, some kind of silo. The bucket! I can't pick it up though. There we go. Not solo, silo. I got me a bucket. Are there any songs about buckets? Seems like it would be a country western song, right? What happens if you just go to the building and don't even notice the silo? Oh, that was that little elevator thing that took the bucket away that broke my little heart. Review the Stanley Parable 2. Like so many, I enjoyed my time with the original Stanley Parable, which underscores how truly disappointed I am with its sequel. Where the first game teamed with originality, the Stanley Parable 2 is dull, uninspired, and often insulting to its fan base. Rather than expand on what made the first game enjoyable, the sequel veers off into territory nobody asked for. An infinitely deep hole? Who cares? I think I've read this. Where are the new endings? What about enjoyable bits from the Stanley Parable 1, like the adventure line? Instead, we get an uninspired side quest collecting figurines. Even this diversion feels incomplete. Collecting all the figurines gives you nothing. I must say, though, I found the bucket to be quite comforting. A welcome reprieve. It's amazing how invested you get in this silly bucket. No more spin-offs, no more sequels. Stanley Parable launched to mass success in 2013. Disastrous critical and commercial reception of the Stanley Parable 2 has prompted the developers to rethink their ambitions, as outlined in a press release they published today. It's clear that more Stanley Parable is just not what the fans want. We thought we had a vision for the series that players would be excited about, and it turns out this could not have been farther from the truth. That's not correct. Further from the truth. Farther is a space of distance. Ooh, now I'm going to have to look it up. Etymology, the study of words. Amazing. The press release goes on to promise to preserve the artistic integrity of the original game and to stop assaulting fans with our reckless and insulting creative visions. The word sorry appears more than 25 times in the press release. Yes, you do. You missed the bucket. It's like a "I like you very much" finger to the fan base. I guess, is that what they're saying the whole game is? This whole game? Oh, I'm supposed to... What is this? Oh, all of the buttons. Jim. How come some of them are lit and the others are not? Do I get anything for annoying you guys with the name Jim over and over again? Oh, there's more buttons over here. It works if your name is Jim. I'm going to push all the ones that are lit because... Ooh, that looks like I need to go over here first. That's what that looks like. Come on. Why can't I click on that one? That one won't let me click. You get to know I will have a Jimmy nightmare from it. It is a parody about game reviewers. I agree. Sometimes the game reviewers are not fans, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 8 here. Are we going to collect all 12 of them again? Why do we need so many Stanley figurines? And where is my narrator? I miss him almost as much as I miss the bucket. Almost, but not quite. It's back! Hello again. It's nice to see you. But it's terrible to learn that there will never be another Stanley Parable game. Could you improve on this one? I mean, the Ultra is a little extra in ways, but the game itself is just a very entertaining good time. Did you read what the developer said? Preserve the integrity of the franchise? What nonsense! The Stanley Parable is not sacred. We do not need to protect it. Screw the legacy. Let's keep making Stanley Parable games until the sun explodes. Let's run this franchise into the ground. Let's drag it through the mud and back. Let's do 20 sequels of a movie. And if people hate it, who cares? You see that that was the narrator's problem. He was so obsessed with what people thought of his work, including Stanley. Don't make his mistake. Don't cling to the legacy. Let it burn. It's not hard. In fact, let me show you. Together we are going to make the Stanley Parable 3. It's simple. All we do is change the number in the game's title screen. We also need a really dumb subtitle for the game, something loud and gaudy. Go ahead, try combining some random words together to make a new title for our game. I'm my brain is just empty of game title random words. Congrats on being Stanley 2 Parable. Stanley Parable 2. I don't know. Give me some words. Oh! They did. They gave me some words. Scary paperwork. Return to coworkers. But I kind of like pocketful of coworkers or pocketful of octopus. The quarterly octopus. Pocketful of ice cream would be bad. More... Too bad cowbell's not in here. More cowbell. Quarterly octopus. Sure, why not? The Stanley Parable 3 Quarterly Octopus. It's absurd. I love it. Every time you restart the game, we'll advance the number of the sequel by 1, and then we'll pick a new subtitle. That way, the Stanley Parable will never end. And nothing in the game itself will change when you do this either. Adding more content sounds like work. No need to do that. It'll just be the same content recycled again and again and again with a new title screen. What do you say? Should we go forward with this plan? I like it, but I want you to have a say as well. Oh, I'm really afraid of what happens if I say let's do it. Buying franchises and doing parts 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, like Disney, but I was actually thinking of Halloween. And I know the last one wasn't actually the 20th sequel, but still. It was like the 10th or 11th, right? It was up there. Don't do it. I understand. Sometimes we're not ready to move on. That's fine. If you ever change your mind and want to start inventing new sequels, come talk to me. I'll be right here. And that, my friends, is the end of the game.